Welcome to Jokakaka. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And today we're doing a special episode. Not really.
Not really.
We are recording in a special location. We are at Anime USA.
In a hotel room.
And we're going in front of this live studio audience.
Of one person.
We're going to be...
And maybe two.
There's other people in here.
Oh, no. Uh-oh. The illusion.
Get the live studio audience out of here.
There's one other person.
A live studio audience.
We are going to be talking about JoJolion Chapter 80.
Because it had to come out the morning of when we were leaving for a
No
convention.
spoilers though, I haven't got there yet.
You won't remember.
Trust me, the amount of like bullshit that's happened to this point is like
Trying to
you wouldn't even.
Trying to explain part 8 is probably
This
the
would be
hardest
like
part.
being in the middle of like the Derby fight and like be talking about like, oh yeah, and then the baseball meme happened and
Or-
you just be like,
We're
okay.
coming in right in the Pet Shop versus Iggy where you think it's just an animal shonen.
Essentially, okay. So all right, let's.
So what's this chapter called?
Is it called like Equivalent Exchange to the Hospital? Hold on.
In the University Hospital, I think it's called?
Let me.
Part...
It's called Equivalent Exchange and the University Hospital Part 4.
Ooh, that was really close for once.
You were pretty close. Okay, so honestly, okay, I need to put Sam on blast for a
fuck
minute
y'all.
here.
Don't need to do that.
Yes, I do.
Can we just talk about the chapter?
No, this is very important to my experience of the chapter. So, I see that. Oh fuck, chapter 80. Of course, we were like
Maybe
prepping
someone should have told
this
me.
whole. I shouldn't have told you
You
because
shouldn't have.
you literally can't handle responsibility.
No.
So I saw chapter 80 came out, and this is like 10 minutes before I was about to pick Sam up to drive down to DC or up. You know where we live.
Or east or west.
Or east or west. And so I text Sam, fuck, the chapter's out. So I'm like, damn, I'm not gonna be able to get this up. This chapter is coming out late. I'm sure you
What if we
noticed.
recorded on the ride there?
It would have been garbage
It would
because
have been amazing.
the ambient noise of the car would be terrible.
We
And then
need-
so I'm like, Sam, the chapter's out, and hoping the boy would like have restraint and not do it.
You-
So the second I pick him up, Sam's like, I read the chapter. One of my predictions was true. Like before I could even say like no spoilers, which should be expected.
Yeah.
It should be expected that Sam's not going to spoil
Oops.
the thing that I haven't read.
Oops.
And he knew I hadn't read it.
Oops. That one's on me.
Yes, it was, and I was a little angry. I'm still a little angry at you.
Yeah, you didn't know what, though.
Well, yeah, but I know the spoiler. You can't drop. Like I'm a person that hates spoilers in all forms.
And I have zero restraint over that.
Yeah, and then you kept trying to bring the conversation back up to it. And be like, you know what?
Well,
Actually,
we're-
I think the stand design looks good. I'm like, I haven't read the chapter yet.
Well, we were talking about
Don't
we were
talk.
talking about a lot about JoJo on the way there.
But yeah, but you were fucking
I was like,
courteous
because
enough
last
not
time, I
to.
was remember last time you were talking about you didn't like the stand design of.
I know, but that's because you saw the first page is the stand.
Is it?
Yes, it is. Because whatever. All right, so
I don't. Little hazy
let's
on me.
begin. Let's begin the discussion.
Yeah.
So basically, I liked the chapter. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it picked off every last stuff of them trying to get out of the doctor's room.
The examination room, yes. And I like the little flashback. I like the little flashback with the kind of the road. We found a little more information, and also I have to say my prediction was correct. From the first
Which
chapter of this part, I'm pretty sure I was like, I feel like it has something to do with her genitals. Her.
Well, that was a major threatening theme, but okay.
No, because like that wasn't initially stated.
Yeah,
though.
not until the second part. I think.
Yeah, because the first part makes it seem like it's her legs, but I was like, there's so much symbolism. There's an arrow pointing right to her womb. It's going to be about.
I always
this.
forget that she had that right there.
Mhm.
But yeah, it kind of started out like showing her like going in, like her last memories of going into the doctor's room before
Yeah.
Yashio met up with her.
Yeah, there was a little bit more context. We see that there is clearly a sort of operation where they're growing tons of Jokakaka.
Yeah, the last thing you see of her memory was like a vault, like a vault,
Yeah, it was a vault for sure, and there was at least like
a bunch,
it's like
a shit ton.
at least 3 plants there that and like several fruit.
Yeah.
So, I really like the idea of this chapter because I think it helps kind of like bring everything full circle.
That this hospital seems to be the main hub.
Yeah.
Other than like I thought it was gonna make an island.
It does seem like the main hub, and also I really like how this kind of because a lot of the early part of JoJolion was spent with Tsurugi,
Yeah.
and Tsurugi was a really important character because like later on, like it gets like his importance is
He's like the
stated.
emperor,
Kind of, yeah.
where he's like important.
But I like having kind of retcon to be that Tamaki was like using him as kind of like a spy against his own will to see what was happening in the Higashikata household was really cool.
So basically, summary, you learned that his stand power. We still don't have the name of it somehow, but he can like turn into dust.
I'm guessing it's gonna be Another One Bites the Dust.
I hope. I already did that, though.
I know.
But Or Dust in the Wind, I'm thinking.
Oh, that's a good prediction.
But yeah, you basically turn into like it's like dust, but like he's kind of like pollen, but it acts like allergies.
Yeah, I like the idea that he's. I like to, in my head canon, because he's a doctor that's like really good. I like to imagine that he's trained his stand to be able to trigger people's allergies.
Yeah,
because he knows how allergies work,
and he can assemble and deassemble himself like throughout the air and get in like particles of himself into people. That's what he said before. He was spying on them through her.
I like that little line that he says where it's like, "That's all my stand can do," like seeming to completely push under the rug all the weird stuff with like squishing that he did in the first chapter, like when he squished the wheelchair down.
It's one of those things probably won't be explained.
No, it's your classic Giorno getting a frog that crushes people's skulls.
Unless the wheelchair thing was her getting her stand from or something, and that was her thing like doing the pressure down with like her like, unknowingly when she was unconscious or something.
Yeah, maybe. I buy it.
I don't know. That's just a personal thing. But yeah, so he was inside of her, get all the information. Basically, he just says like, "Oh, I know all this stuff," and then they just say stuff that we know.
Yeah, that really kind of recontextualizes everything because like it makes it seem like there was so much more of a sort of evil bad guy force, and they were so much more powerful than we thought.
And they know everything that's going on from like Ozone Baby and like even farther back before that.
And even thinking about like I forget the guy's name, but the architect who was like one of the first stone people that we see.
Yeah,
like, he is. It just shows how like deeply embedded within the family they were, like how much they were controlling the Higashikatas.
Yeah, basically, he knows everything that's been going on, like who has the stands, what their stands do, blah blah blah. So yeah, so that's basically the first part of the chapter, and like you get a lot of. I'm gonna call him. You know he's Ooh. I call him you too. I really hope it's Stan.
I like calling him Ooh because it's a silly name.
I like Ooh, but you too is pretty hilarious. Shut up, you.
So really, there isn't too much that this is just a kind of a stand battle chapter. Like they had like the kind of
running away from nothing
background stuff. Also, there's more of what's her name?
Mitsuho.
Mitsuho is like. She's really, like, starting to kind of put the pieces together. She's like, wait, how serious is this equivalent exchange bullshit?
Like, I was pregnant. Like, I know I was, like, pregnant, but it was taken from me. Equivalent exchange and all that stuff. If you watch FMA.
Yeah, she also didn't know that she was pregnant. And she was 13 weeks along. Yeah, that's pretty significant for a pregnancy.
Yeah, in the flashback, she learns right before she gets knocked out, that's the last thing she hears.
Yeah, so that's the other thing, too. It's like, she doesn't know what's happening while she's, quote-unquote, under. So this is kind of what I was thinking. Like, he uses his stand to, like... I guess just fix work with the Jokakaka, kind of how Josuke did,
Gabby or
Jofume did, how Jofume did with like Proto Soft and Wet or whatever you want to say.
He had a pretty. I guess his was soft and I want to say his was soft and wet, and Kira's was
Killer Queen.
Yeah.
I guess that's never been. Maybe that was confirmed, but whatever.
So basically, they learned that he's getting in, like dust, and like they get stuff of him inside of them and everything.
Yeah.
So they're kind of freaking out because but we basically get the reveal of Mitsuho's stand, the poncho arrow itself.
So it's called
Awakening 3 Leaves.
Did you look that up?
Yeah, just double check it, just so I get it right.
What I mean, like. I asked if you... I meant, like, did you look up the reference?
I didn't look up the reference. I didn't look up the reference. I don't think I did.
I'll do it right now.
I just looked up the actual name, but it has King in it, so...
I didn't realize that.
But yeah...
But she's not, like...
I was kind of confused by the name at first, because it had... he just, like... It used, like, Roman numerals instead of, like, just, like, the 3 or whatever. Like, I kind of got... It took me a couple of tries to get it into my head.
Since it did come out today, it doesn't seem like anyone...
Yeah, no one really got the reference.
Really knows what it is.
Yeah, but so we basically get her stand power because she realized she has like the stuff in her the entire time because villain monologue to her, and so her stand. So she put like 3 arrows down. It seemed like, and she could dig
at least
at least 3 at least, and then she can from the way she can move the force out of wherever the arrows are.
Yeah, it said that she moves energy to. It's pretty much like the path of least resistance. Like they just go straight.
Yeah.
Which is, like, such a good power. It seems like one of these stands that, like, should have happened, like, a long time ago.
It's simple.
But it's very simple, but it's, like, really open to... Like, we see it used pretty interesting.
It's like Hermes and, or Bruno, where, like, stands that put something down, and that something down does the ability more so than the stand.
And the arrows look really cool, too. The art in this chapter was awesome. I think this is one of Araki's best chapters yet, recently.
I like when the stands, like... have abilities like linked to like their designs. Like Bruno had like the zip, like Sticky Fingers had the zippers and everything.
So I know that JoJo is very art based. Art is very important to Araki's whole thing. But if she wasn't wearing arrows on her dress that day, would her stand have had powers and design relating to arrows? That is just
I think so.
I just think that's a really funny coincidence that she happened to be wearing this outfit, this very lavish dress with like arrows pointing at things.
If Dio didn't get the yellow outfit, would he start with the world be yellow? Or whatever costume color he's wearing?
Well, as we know, Sam, there are no canon colors in JoJo.
But that's the one Dio's always worn. But like, just like anyone, really.
In my head, Dio's skin is pink and his suit is green.
I mean, Stone Free. I like the color, like the blue JoJolion, but like Stone Free, like it works best. It's like all blue.
Yeah, I like the light blue Stone Free.
Yeah,
personally.
So I don't know, I like when the colors actually match up. It's kind of weird when they do like the Giorno with the pink and he's like stands like solid gold. It's like different.
I like that a lot.
They know I don't like the pink as much. I like the purple. Cause I'm more used to the purple one. But
I love Pink Giorno. I think Pink Giorno was a great choice for the anime.
I don't hate it, but I'd say I always prefer the other one.
Hashtag unpopular JoJo opinion.
But so yeah, so they get, she basically uses the arrows to shoot out all like the little like things that was in her that was controlling her for before her chapter.
And just like visually, like so yeah, they're being assaulted, and Yasho can see Josuke. She can see Josuke in Planet Praiser initially, and she's trying to yell to him, but yeah, she's getting like all the shit's getting inserted in her mouth.
Yeah, she opened her mouth trying to scream. You get into her mouth and everything. Like we had to get these out. But then,
I love the way how the arrows like were able to direct them. It just was really cool.
It like
visually.
pushes everything out of the way. Like it's like perfectly like pushed. Like the arrow would be like it's like goes to like a point.
I just thought it was cool looking, and I liked it a lot.
Yeah. And then it's basically just a lot of action where a lot. It cuts back to U a lot, saying like I never fail.
And so that's another thing. I love when JoJo characters have backstories that aren't related to their stand, where they're just really like U's whole thing is he's literally great at everything, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with his stand.
He doesn't like being a doctor limited to one thing. He just wants to be like all around doctor to help their patient whatever way they can.
So he's already the most compassionate.
And you couldn't tell how good of a doctor he is. He has like the 20 patches of doctor on him, so I'll tell you he's the doctor of everything.
Yeah, that's how being a doctor is. It's very much like being in the army or an armed service. Like you just get another doctor patch every time you go up in rank. It's very cool.
He's the patch of doctor just written like, more attached to you.
I do have to say, I love that this. I know JoJo isn't a shonen currently, but it used to be. I love that this like formerly shonen anime. One of the plot points of the moment is about getting to the gynecology ward. I think that's really fucking funny.
Yeah, because the chapter ends with them getting on the elevator.
Yeah. Oh, also, it looks like she would put an arrow down and hold onto it to move.
Yeah.
That's what it looks. And so
I think she can either use it for force or use it to like project themselves, like I said.
This reminds me of I'm sure you know. There's an X-Man. His name's Cannonball.
Yeah.
His power is basically
he can shoot himself.
He can shoot himself in a fixed direction. And I know later on he ends up learning how to turn, and for him it's a big moment. But I love the idea that you can like literally just shoot yourself forward and you can't control it. I think that's a really fun idea. It's a really fun limitation.
And that shitty anime I watched, Charlotte, there was a guy whose power was teleportation, but he was basically going so fast and he couldn't stop himself from where he landed, so he just kept going with the momentum he had, so he would just like shoot off.
That's pretty epic, dude.
That was the show was okay. We actually had like anime action.
No, everyone loves Charlotte, right? It's like a 10 out of 10.
Everyone likes the first part, but not the last part.
I'm kidding. I know that it's a
shits the bed.
Reviled. I think that's really it. I don't remember anything else major.
Yeah, other than like U's still chasing them, but they're in the elevator. But she finds like when she gets the stuff shoot out of her, she sees a little crusty hand twitch.
Yeah, okay, this was where I was starting to get kind of not confused, but I was like, they kind of look like baby arms.
Yeah.
But then we see U's face start to form. So are they gonna be fighting an U baby?
I'm not sure.
A baby version of this creepy Doctor Man.
Did he like get the part onto him, like the baby to be part of him? It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I like how open his stand is right now.
Yeah. It's simple.
It's simple, but there's a lot of like wiggle room for interesting things to happen. Because clearly he's able to. Kind of, yeah. Sticky Fingers is a very simple stand, but there's a lot of like bullshit in there.
Yeah.
I like the idea. Like clearly he's able to enter someone's body.
And
at least partially, and still retain information. Like, he learned all the stuff from Tsurugi. So.
And he can control them for a limited time, it seems. But
Yeah, there's definitely that.
There's a time where he was in control and she wasn't in control, and like, or she acted like him, or maybe like the parts of him like retained in the person that's inside, so that's why she was eating like uncontrollably.
I also like that he's like a MGTOW and he just like hates women. He's like, I only date women that I 100% know are worth it. And that was pretty funny.
I forgot he had
that. And how he judged the other nurse. He's like, you can tell she has bags under her eyes.
No, she's like, she also had like the marks from like rope, so what she does on her own time, like on a late night.
I think he misunderstood his reference there.
She was just like, I don't know.
Maybe I misunderstood.
She had like rope on her hand. He said like.
I thought he meant like, I thought it was like a metaphorical rope. Basically, he's saying how she's leading like a really promiscuous life. And he doesn't trust someone like her. Maybe there is a BDSM.
I could have sworn that was like you could talk about like, the rope marks on her wrist and everything. Like, I'm not gonna judge if she does it late at night, but
I just assumed. I thought he was making like a metaphor, talking about how she's like, whatever. This is getting weird.
Just say what you think. What do you think?
Basically, I interpreted it as him just kind of judging her, living a promiscuous lifestyle.
But yeah, so. And basically, yeah, end with the mystery of the baby hands on the ground and.
Which I assume is probably just going to be him.
It has to be the end of the arc next chapter, because usually they don't go past 5 parts of like the fights unless they're like.
It does seem like the next chapter will be.
He said to go to the maternity ward, or what did he say?
The gynecology ward.
Okay, gynecology ward.
The most sexy of all doctor wards.
Well, I think if it's going to end anywhere, it'd be there.
I'm basically expecting either an abortion happen in
God.
JoJo.
Oh God, that already happened with like the dust putting out of her. When we get a baby, they just scrape the dust out of it and put it on the ground.
Oh God. I feel like we're due for some explanation about the weird stone sickness. Yeah. It feels too relevant to like his stand and like bullshit that's happening currently to not find out about that.
He referenced her son and everything.
Yeah, Tsurugi was pretty prevalent or relevant to the part.
Seems to have like, a major part in part 8, like coming up. Like he has to by the end.
I know I've said this before. I feel like the big climax is going to be with him and like him turning into his dealing with the rock sickness. So
find out. Hopefully,
I don't know if that's what they. It's been so long since I read that. I don't know if that's the term for it.
The weird thing is she's with her and she's gonna meet up with Gappy and the Panaphrase. Like, are they gonna have like she gonna join up with them now?
I love the idea of her joining up
because she has a legit stand now that's like more probably more shown and more developed than others.
Yeah.
Even though like it showed what her stand looked like, but also it came out of her wrist like a little hidden blade like Assassin's Creed.
The problem is like I would have said that about like I always forget her name.
From I know the girl,
the Lady Gaga stand,
the Super Love Deluxe, whatever.
Yeah, no, not Love Deluxe. I'm talking about
which Kaito is it?
Yeah, Kato.
The mom?
No, not Kato. The Jotaro.
Oh yeah, the maid.
Yeah, the maid, whatever her name. I always forget her name.
With Born This Way.
Yeah, Born This Way. Because like I would have thought that she would have been part of the main staff. Or the main.
Yeah, because her mom's like a major plot point.
Yeah, but she never joined up. So honestly, I would love for her to become part of the main cast, but
it's just gonna
at this point you can't fucking tell.
It's Gappy, his crew, Jobin, and his family, and then that's basically maybe the dad. That's it.
Yeah, same with the Higashikatas. I thought for sure they would have been.
The dad's the only one that's really important. Like out of that main family.
Yeah.
And maybe because it's probably gonna him end up fighting the dad's gonna fight the mom or something.
That'd be pretty cool. I'd be really cool with that.
Jobin versus Gappy is like just going to happen. Like you cannot have that not happen. Because they've been teasing it after the beetle fight.
Yeah.
Big bad beetle fight.
Yeah. There's been so many flirts with it too.
So.
Alright, let's move on to just like brief predictions. We're kind of there already.
I think the arcs, yeah. So I'm pretty sure the arcs can come to conclusion next thing. We get some big reveal especially about Mitsuha. And hopefully they'll all meet up at the end and get some information. And maybe find who the next person behind U is. Because there was three people. So
there were 3 other people, but they could just be jobbers.
They probably will be.
They could just be nothing, like just slaves.
Pretty much.
Ooze sex slaves.
Someone to fight while they're dealing with a bigger threat.
I really like U, and I would like to see more of him. I hope he doesn't die too hard. I hope Gappy doesn't destroy him too hard.
Gappy has so much blood and brutality on his hand with poor Tom and.
He's just become a mindless killing machine. It's unfortunate.
He cracked a man's head in on like the streets. He cars someone. He brutally eats the most blood. I don't actually he's the most like.
He's pretty violent.
He's pretty violent next to Giorno probably. Or at least like everyone in Part 5's Bloodlust.
Yeah.
But Josuke did put a man to a rock and forcibly like give him a life of doing nothing, of standing there.
That is probably one of the most brutal fates. That and the Cars thing.
Even though
I don't have like much sympathy for Cars because Cars is just evil.
And Angela's also like just a mindless serial killer.
Yeah, but like the crime does not fit the punishment.
But even though he said, I could kill you, but I'm just going to give you a punishment worse than death.
That really is punishment. Freezing someone to like forcibly experience like
become
the
a
rest
tourist
of
trap.
time.
Become a tourist
trap. Yeah, it's horrible.
But like,
all right, I think it's time to wrap this up.
Any other predictions?
I think that Jojo will die.
Would Gabby?
No, I'm kidding.
Like,
I'm expecting Planet Praiser to look more thick. I think he's going to get more and more thick as the plot goes.
They think they're going to beat Ooh. Gonna get some.
And then we're going to see Holly as the villain. Holly villain reveal is next chapter. I'm calling it right now. It's
never gonna happen.
October 18th. Holly is going to be the main villain. I'm calling it.
Hey, never gonna happen. But
all right.
I'm also thinking, like, after they beat Ooh, they're gonna find that vault with all the fruit and, like, get some reveal from that.
All right, more realistic threat prediction. I think we're gonna see Kato. I think Kato's gonna finally rear her head back in the plot.
That, and we'll get the name of Dust in the Wind.
I do really think that's possible, but it's probably gonna be something dumb, like
or something pollen related, like
yeah.
some kind of allergy. Because like, there's been some weird names in Part 8 for stands, so
yes. Like Born This Way.
Born This Way is normal because we had Spice Girls, so I have like no problem with the pop music. But it's just like King Nut, like
Nut King Call,
Nut King,
King
Speed
Nut
King,
Speed King, yeah, classic.
Doggy Style.
Doggy Style is great though. Doggy Style is fucking classic.
Like Soft and Wet's even kind of weird for like stand names, where like
it's a Prince reference.
It is a Prince reference, but it's still like a weird Prince song, or I don't know.
I'm shaking my head wildly.
I don't know. I've never seen stands like having the. I don't know. I always feel we're having soft and wet, but it kind of makes sense for the part of like having like two things.
There is an ancient Mayan god named AC/DC. Nothing is too weird for this fucking show.
Different universe. This
Right.
part has dinosaurs. That part had vampires. Different. This part had Jesus. That part didn't.
That's very true. Jesus is canon.
Jesus told him to kill the president, Jim.
All right. So we're gonna sign off now. Please check out. We are currently doing a new show. It's called Part 5 in Parts.
Oh yeah.
Where we normally like every other like Joe Bro, your average like Joe Blow YouTuber would like be like, I'm gonna do a Part 5 review podcast every episode and do a podcast episode, but we're doing it even better. Like we're doing 2 podcasts for every JoJo episode. No, I'm kidding.
No. Imagine if we did just this entire arc, the equipment exchange and the university hospital, and just imagine we took that entire part and just did the episodes based on that part.
So we're gonna wait for every arc to finish, and then we're gonna do a little podcast based on that. So this is really hard to. I'm not used to having people in the room.
I know.
When I talk.
It's just us. They can deal with it.
So okay, we're going to.
We have a live studio audience. Be happy.
And like, I feel like it makes more sense.
You guys can still make eye contact if you want.
All right.
Are we a laugh track?
You are now.
Or a round of applause. We close.
Okay, so yeah, check out Part 5 in Parts if you are currently watching.
We have the first episode out.
Yeah, we do have the first episode out. Check it out. I did a whole different. I took the sort of theme of the thumbnails I used for Jokakaka, and I color changed them.
It's still working practically. We weren't sure which way we want to go with it with a spoiler, but we have a way we're gonna go with it with spoilers. So.
Yeah, we got feedback. You guys want spoilers. I know you guys want spoilers.
Yeah.
So.
Going from someone who loves spoilers, so yeah, I will go crazy.
I like spoilers when I've experienced the part the same way.
So drink your liquor. And don't worry about it.
All right, we're gonna sign out now because I'm fucking tired of this.
Are you?
No, I could talk about JoJo with you for hours.
We did. That's what the car ride was.
It's actually really pathetic how much of my brain is JoJo. Like, it is actually so sad that this much mental faculty is devoted to remembering, oh yes, this ancient Aztec god is named AC/DC, when no one should ever have these thoughts.
Thank you for the laughter. But like the thing is, me and Jim remember different things from JoJo, like
That's
very
true.
Concretely. Like
there's been too much bullshit to remember all of it, so you need to have 2 brains to rub together.
Yeah, like I remember the earlier
2 brain cells to rub together.
Like 3 and 4 is probably like I remember the most for some reason.
Yeah, Part 3 is
like,
not good.
5 and 6, I think we're kind of equal for Part 7 for the most part.
Yeah, except you forget that one thing about Part 7 that I remember.
Which one?
You know, well, you don't know. That's the problem.
Damn it,
You forgot
AU.
it.
You don't remember that thing from part 3 though.
Oh shit! I totally forgot that guy.
Yeah, you know.
Real talk though, someone mentioned a part 3 battle, and I completely forgot about it. I completely forgot the stand. I can't even remember what it was now.
Remember when
they
were
so
on?
bad?
Do you remember when they were on a submarine?
Yeah, that was funny. And they did like the handshake.
Yeah.
Who was it?
That was
Cat Queen
and Cat Queen.
Okay, yeah.
The main
See, I
character.
remember some bullshit from part 3.
Yeah, and then they made a complete unique design. Iraqi made a design for the fighting game for the girl that stand that was.
That's your favorite piece of trivia. You've told that to me
I
like
know.
5 times.
And they had a briefly outlined of her, but her teeth were knocked out. So they didn't want to show like a beat up woman, I guess. Even though they show like horribly beat up women in this part.
Yeah,
Or in
Rocky,
JoJo.
he's matured.
Remember Yukako like goes to crate when she gets like beaten. She's like loses her hair, but then gets it back.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we're gonna end this
The
now.
deep
It's been
cut.
so long.
Shut up, deep cut.
I've been Jim.
I'll say bye.
Bye.
Bye.